What was a family secret that was exposed? They say college is the best time of your life, but for me, it was the loneliest, most exhausting uphill battle I ever had to fight. While other students worried about what parties to attend, or which electives were easiest, I was doing mental math every morning. Can I afford lunch today? Do I have enough for this semester's books? Should I work extra shifts or study for my midterms? I took out loans more than I ever should have. I juggled 3 part-time jobs while attending full-time classes. There were nights I fell asleep in the campus library, my head buried in textbooks. And mornings I cried in the bathroom because my body ached, but I had no one to call. My parents would send the occasional "we're proud of you" text, but never once did they ask if I needed help. Still, I got through. Barely. I graduated with honors, a mountain of debt, and the feeling that I'd made them proud by doing it all on my own. Then, 5 years later, I found out the truth. It started with an offhand comment from my younger sister, Ava. We were having coffee when she casually mentioned how Dad had wired her money again, so she could keep up appearances at grad school. When I asked what she meant, she laughed. You didn't know. Dad paid for all of it. Tuition, apartment, flights, everything since I left high school. Said I shouldn't stress like you did. I just sat there, coffee turning cold in my hand, my jaw slack. Dad paid for everything. Ava kept going, talking about the shopping trips, the allowance, the luxury dorms, the vacations she took during breaks, none of which I ever knew about. You're so lucky you're strong, she said offhandedly, as if that explained it. When I got home that night, I stared at the framed photo of my college graduation on the mantle, me in that cheap rented gown, smiling through tired eyes. Dad stood beside me, beaming. I had no idea then what that smile cost me. I waited a few days before confronting him, maybe because I needed to believe it wasn't true. Maybe because I hoped there was a reason, any reason that made sense. We were alone in the living room when I finally asked, "Why didn't you ever help me with college?" He glanced up from his phone, blinked like the question confused him. You didn't ask. I didn't know I could, I snapped. You told me money was tight, that I had to be responsible. You made me believe there was no help to give. Dad exhaled and set his phone down. You were always stronger than Ava. I knew you could handle it. She needed more support. I stared at him, disbelief slicing through me like glass. So you made me struggle because I was strong. His voice softened. You were capable. And you made it, didn't you? But I suffered, I whispered. I nearly dropped out. I cried myself to sleep. I skipped meals. And you sat there, paying for her lifestyle, while I dug myself into debt just trying to survive. A pause. Then I said it. Or was it because I'm adopted? He flinched. Silence. Then, finally, he looked away. I thought you knew, he murmured. We were going to tell you when you were older, but then, you just blended in so well. It felt like the air had been knocked out of me. Everything made sense and yet didn't. The favoritism, the different rules, the invisible distance I tried so hard to close. Why didn't you ever tell me? Because you were already our child, he said. Blood didn't matter to us, didn't it? He had no answer, not one that mattered. That night, I packed away my graduation photo and stored it in a box in the attic. Not because I was ashamed of what I'd accomplished, but because I didn't want that moment tainted by a truth it never deserved to carry. And maybe one day, I'll find a new frame. One that holds only my face tired, proud, and unbreakable. Because I was strong, yes, but I should never have had to prove it alone.